The Emperor's New Clothes by Hans Christian Andersen. Many years ago, there lived an emperor who loved new clothes so much he spent all his money on them. He didn't care about going to the theater or driving about, except for the purpose of showing off a new outfit. And life was happy in the town where the emperor lived, and many strangers came to visit. One day, two rascals arrived, calling themselves weavers, saying they could weave the most exquisite cloth imaginable. Not only were the patterns and colors beautiful, but clothes made from the cloth had the particular property of being invisible to all who were unfit for the office he held, or who were exceptionally stupid. And the emperor thought, I could discover which men in my empire are unfit for the office they hold. I could distinguish wise men from fools. I must have this cloth woven for me immediately. And so the emperor paid the two weavers a handsome sum in advance, as they required. As for them, they set up two looms and began pretending to weave. They called for the finest silks and gold thread, all of which went into their own bags, as they sat working the empty looms. I would like to discover how the weavers are progressing, the emperor thought. But then he thought how anyone who was too stupid or unfit for his office would be unable to see the material. He thought he had nothing to fear for himself, of course, but he sent someone else first. I will send my trusty old prime minister, the emperor thought, for he is a man of sense, and no man is more fit for his office than he. So the old minister went to the room where the two weavers sat working the empty looms, and he thought, why, I can't see a thing. But he did not say so out loud. And then the weavers began asking him if he thought the pattern beautiful and the color fine, gesturing at the empty looms as they did so. And the old minister looked hard, but he could see nothing, for of course there was nothing there to see. And he thought, is it possible that I am a fool? Is it true that I am unfit for my office? No one must know I cannot see the cloth. What do you have to say about the cloth? Asked the weavers. It is most beautiful, said the dazed old man. I will be sure to let the emperor know how pleased I am with it. We are glad of that, said the weavers. And now the cheats called for more money, more silk, and more gold thread, all of which went into their own pockets. Not a thread went into the cloth. Eventually, the emperor sent another trusty old statesman to see how the weavers were progressing. Is it not an exquisite piece of cloth? Asked the weavers, explaining the patterns and colors on the empty looms as they did so. I am not stupid. I know I am not, thought the minister. So it must be that I am unfit for my office. But no one must know. So he praised the cloth he did not see. The emperor decided he wanted to see the cloth for himself while it was still on the looms. With a company of men, including the two previously worthy officials, he went to visit the weavers. Is it not an exquisite piece of cloth? Said the two previously worthy statesmen, for they believed the others could see what they could not. And the emperor thought, why, I can't see anything at all. This is terrible. Am I a fool? Am I unfit to be emperor? But out loud he said, it is very pretty. And he smiled with satisfaction at the cloth he did not see, for of course he would not admit he couldn't see it. And all the courtiers looked as hard as they could, but all of them could see nothing. Yet all of them cried, it is beautiful. And they even suggested to the emperor that he should wear the new outfit for the first time for a grand procession. The day of the procession, the emperor went to the weavers himself with his grandest courtiers, and the weavers lifted their arms as if holding up the garments, saying, here are the trousers, here is the coat, and so on. It is so light, one would almost feel as if one had nothing on. And so the emperor took off his clothes, and the weavers pretended to put the garments on him. The emperor looks fantastic in his new clothes, each of the courtiers cried. And when the emperor was ready, the chamberlains who were to carry the train stooped to the ground and lifted their hands, as if holding it in the air, neither willing to admit that he could see or feel nothing. And as they walked through the street, everyone cried, the emperor looks fantastic in his new clothes. no one wanted to admit that they could see nothing. "But he has nothing on!" cried a small child. And eventually all the people said, "But he has nothing on!" And the emperor was surprised, for he had a suspicion that they were right. But he thought, "I will see this to the end." And he stood more stiffly than before, and the chamberlains continued to carry the train that was not there.